This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The search continues today for two young brothers who are believed to have drowned in the Whiteshell. RCMP say they were pulled into the rapids on Winnipeg Lake. The water is deep and choppy and dangerous, but that hasn't stopped rescue workers who are hoping for a miracle recovery. CBC's Santiago Arias Orozco is in the area today with the latest.
An RCMP boat launches into Winnipeg Lake trying to find two brothers. They fell into the water. A search for them now going on for 3 days.
We obviously don't ever want to lose out hope on anything, but all indications is that the folks did see the boys go under the water and did not resurface.
The boys were at Whiteshell Provincial Park on Saturday. The youngest, 10 years old, slipped into fast-moving rapids near Sturgeon's Falls. His brother, 13, jumped after him. Some of his clothes, the only belongings that have been recovered so far.
We want to see if we can get some closure for the family. That's kind of our priority right now.
Alison Baker-Teasing co-owns a lodge in Winnipeg Lake. The family staying here since the search began. She says they were on a day trip with his father to fish.
They don't know what to think right now. They're definitely hurting, and they want their boys home.
Over the last 48 hours, others have joined the search, including HEART, a team specialized in the recovery of drowning victims. On board, the crew is using a scan to find the boys underwater. But coordinator Paul Mandel says the area of just over 5 square kilometers is not easy to search. Swift currents, winds destabilize the scanner, and the bottom of the lake is filled with debris.
It's a possibility that we might have scanned over them already. If they're shaped like a rock, at this point, it'll take a miracle to find them.
The brothers' family is asking for privacy at this time. They have identified them as 10-year-old Maximo and 13-year-old Aaron Aur Ramirez. On Monday, the trail leading to Sturgeon Falls is closed while they try to search for them. Baker-Teasing says the area where they fell is extremely dangerous. The rocks around them are slippery. The water moves fast. She wants a fence built to prevent people from getting close.
It has been too many incidents in the last little while, and we need to make it safe for everybody.
A 12-year-old boy drowned in 2023. A woman also died in the same location last summer. Manitoba Park says they are reviewing safety concerns. The weather suspended the search in the afternoon. RCMP launched its boat again after the rain stopped to continue looking for the boys. Santiago Arias Orozco, CBC News, Winnipeg Lake.
Unfortunately, it was not the only tragedy this weekend. RCMP say an 18-year-old man died after trying to swim across a gravel pit south of Grunthal. It's a tragic reminder of how dangerous Manitoba waterways can be. The Life Saving Society of Manitoba says statistically, July is the most dangerous month of the year for water-related incidents in the province. In Manitoba, on average, there are 22 fatal drownings every year. This week is National Drowning Prevention Week. Along with the scorching temperatures we've been having, the Society is reminding people about water safety and education. Condolences are pouring in for a rescue dog worker who was found dead on a Manitoba First Nation. Police say the woman was found in Sandy Bay, Ojibwe First Nation last week. She was found dead in an area where several aggressive dogs were seen around 6 a.m. Friday. CBC News is not naming her out of respect for the family's wishes. She was in the area for a non-profit animal rescue group. Canine Advocacy Manitoba says she was one of their dedicated volunteers. She helped organize spay and neuter clinics in First Nations dealing with dog overpopulation issues. Well, whether you're heading to the theatre, the symphony, or the ballet, Winnipeggers will soon be able to get home a little safer. Patrols are being increased around the downtown performing arts venues just in time for opening season. And the city says safe walks can also be arranged. CBC's Mike Arsenault takes a look at the new program.
Work hard, play hard.
Winnipeg has a vibrant performing arts community, and festivals like the Fringe bring thousands of people to the downtown. But concerns about safety still linger in the area. Monday, Mayor Scott Gillingham announced a new program he hopes will increase safety during events and festivals.
I am pleased to announce the Performing Arts Wayfinder program. This new initiative will provide courtesy walks and enhanced patrolling in the area of our theatre district.
The program is being spearheaded by the Downtown Community Safety Partnership, or the DCSP. Mitch Bourbonniere says the DCSP operates in the downtown 7 days a week. This new initiative will expand on that.
On dedicated nights where rehearsals are happening and productions are happening and people are actually coming to enjoy theater or the museum, whatever, then we're going to have 2 people dedicated to doing safe walks.
Now, if you're downtown enjoying an event or a festival and you're feeling unsafe, you can use the Downtown Community Safety Partnership app and request a courtesy walk. The service isn't just for attendees. Chris Fensom with the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra says performers have safety concerns too, and he wrote a letter to the city which led to the Safety Walk program.
We've had many incidents, and they go under the radar until we reached out to our musicians and said, please share with us your experiences, and they came in, and I thought, wow, this is bigger than we anticipated.
We asked Fringe Fest attendees what they think of the new initiative.
It's just a good sense of extra comfort when walking around downtowns alone and even with a group of friends.
I don't know that it would encourage folks who are already wary or who have already had serious safety incidents or concerns happening to them.
Gillingham says the Exchange Biz and the Winnipeg Police Service will play a role as well. The Performing Arts Wayfinder program starts in September and will run for 1 year. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
People living in a North Kildonan apartment say their building's cooling system isn't keeping up with the summer heat. Some say the temperature inside their homes is so unbearable that being outdoors in the heat wave is a reprieve. The CBC's Santiago Arias Orozco reports.
This is the only way Kelly Forsyth can keep her apartment cool. 2 air conditioners and 3 fans running for hours.
You try and close the curtains, you have to have portable air conditioners. It's unless you're a lizard, you're not going to enjoy it.
Forsyth says the North Kildonan building has a central cooling system, but the amount of air it blows, not enough to even move a tissue.
In today's times, it's not doing anything.
It's unclear how many suites in the Edgewood States have the same issue, but tenants say it has been a summer of sizzling temperatures indoors, even during the cooler times of the day.
Like, you're literally dry heaving at night, like that bad. You're waking up 3 times a night just because you got dry throat and you're like literally coughing like nonstop.
The heat builds up after hours of the sun beaming on the tower. Last week's heat wave made it hard to weather inside. Since then, some tenants say the cooling system hasn't really brought the temperature down.
I would like a big change. I would like them to fix the air conditioners so it's comfortable for everybody and we shouldn't have to come outside to get fresh air.
CBC reached out to Devonshire Property, who owns and operates the building, but didn't hear back Sunday. Residents say they have raised concerns with the manager, but they say there's been no change over days or a plan. While waiting, some worry about the most vulnerable.
I sit out on my deck and I can survive it, and then I get out of here too, like if you have a car. But it's the people that are the older people that are really suffering.
Another heat event is passing through the city, feeling close to 40 with the humidity. Tenants worry more days like this are coming, and one change to weather hotter summers. Santiago Arias Orozco, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, Riley, and after a very hot weekend, a bit of a break today.
Yeah, it's courtesy of a cold front, Brittany. So, I mean, there's some folks that really do like the heat and the humidity if you're planning a beach day, for example. But, yeah, this can be oppressive. I mean, it wasn't as humid as we saw a couple weekends ago, right? But still a very hot and humid weekend across parts of the province. What we have is a cold front that's been pushing south and east through the day today, and that's kicked up some showers and some thunderstorms as we've advanced through the afternoon pretty broadly across southern Manitoba, right from Westman down into the Red River Valley and parts of the Interlake. And all of this is pushing southeastward. So areas that have seen some of this activity move through already, you're done with it now, and we're going to see things wrapping up as we get into the evening hours here. This is all pushing eastward into Ontario. Areas, particularly around Thunder Bay, that really do need the rain, but could do without the thunderstorms, the lightning, and the winds that come with that. We still have a yellow level air quality warning in place for a good chunk of northern Manitoba, the Pas, Flin Flon, Thompson, Norway House, and north. This is because of fluctuating air quality from wildfires that are burning in our province and also on the Ontario side of the border as well. We might see some haze from some of that here in the south as we get through the next couple of days. I'll go into details on that a little bit later on, but where that front came through, it's knocked temperatures down 21 in Swan River through the afternoon, Brittany, and still at 24s and 25s across the south. I'll go into all the details when I come back.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Coming up, why some groups say the province's new labor policy for major construction projects isn't necessary. We'll explain after the break. Some contractors are questioning what the Manitoba Jobs Agreement is trying to fix. The new policy sets wage, benefit, and apprenticeship requirements on big, provincially funded projects. But contractors say their standards are already high, and these rules are costly to implement. The CBC's Ian Fraze reports.
Some Manitoba contractors aren't bidding on major public projects after the government imposed new rules.
I didn't know what the problem was, what they were trying to fix with this agreement.
The Manitoba Jobs Agreement was announced last year and oversees provincially funded projects worth at least $50 million, like hospitals and a package of new schools. The agreement sets standard wages and benefits for everyone on the job site. But Chris Precourt says his business doesn't need government to meet these standards. He also balks at now paying union dues and carrying the extra administrative burden.
I think that this agreement puts an impediment to many Manitoba contractors for pricing this work.
The construction associations are also pushing back. They say forcing non-union shops to pay union dues and administrative fees to work on these projects is costly.
The Manitoba Jobs Agreement establishes common employment standards.
Tanya Paulson supports the jobs agreement. She says it ensures high-paying jobs for local workers.
Many contractors already do provide excellent wages and working conditions and health and benefits. And so certainly in that context, they wouldn't be disadvantaged by putting in a minimum floor.
She says she's not aware of anyone working under this agreement that's earning less money. But the discussions around this jobs agreement don't appear to be over. One construction association we spoke to says the province now appears willing to make some changes to the agreement, but the province would not confirm that, saying it cannot talk about future plans during a by-election. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A 49-year-old man faces charges of impaired driving. Police allege the man was speeding, lost control, and crashed. It happened just before 9:30 a.m. Sunday near the intersection of Sargent and Balmoral. Police say a Ford Mustang was speeding east on Sargent when the driver attempted to turn onto Balmoral and lost control. The car crashed into a bus shelter and knocked down a hydro pole before coming to a stop with the car's front end off the ground. 4 people were sent to hospital with serious and critical injuries after a street racing incident. Police were called to a crash on Friday evening near Main Street and Jarvis Avenue. They say a motorcycle and BMW were speeding southbound beside each other when an SUV crossed their path. It clipped the BMW, which hit a nearby building, while the motorcycle hit the back of the SUV, with both riders being thrown from the bike. Police say the crash is a direct result of speeding and are urging drivers to slow down.
Speed kills. Speed is extremely dangerous. There are very many different reasons that people may have for doing that, but none of them are good enough to put your lives at risk, to involve your families in that way, and to involve members of the public.
Emergency first aid was given to the motorcycle driver on scene. Police say they suffered potentially life-altering injuries. Voters in a northern Manitoba provincial riding will soon elect a new MLA. NDP MLA Amanda Laughlin passed away in March, leaving a vacant seat in the Pas-Kameesak. Tuesday is by-election day. CBC's Eric Westhaver spoke with the candidates vying for the seat.
It's by-election season in the Pas-Kameesak. 4 people are running to fill the late Amanda Laughlin's former seat. The riding consists of 3 sections: the Pas and Opaskwayak Cree Nation in the north, Peguis in the south, and several communities in the Interlake. Healthcare, roads, and the economy have been hot topics in the Pas. The NDP has represented this area in legislature for decades. The NDP candidate is former OCN Vice Chief Jennifer Flett. She wants to carry on Laughlin's legacy.
And what I've been seeing is that they've been dubbed a listening government.
They listen to what people have to say, and it comes to the table, and they try to address it in the best way they can.
Entrepreneur and artisan Edna Nabis is running for the PCs. She feels the NDP has left the region behind.
It's just been far too long that the NDP has been promising and promising, and we have not seen any of these promises come to fruition.
Dan Quinnell, a former Chamber of Commerce president, said his kids inspired him to run for the Liberals.
My littlest, she's just 2 years old right now. You know, when she gets, outside of high school and gets done looking at, what she wants to do with her life, I want there to be some options up here.
The Keystone Party has joined with Wally Doddridge. The former PC leadership candidate now feels the PCs and NDP are too alike.
But I bring a plethora of lifetime experience. I've been involved in so many different industries. I love building things.
The time for talk is just about over. Election day is Tuesday, and advanced polls throughout the riding have already opened. People here and elsewhere in the riding will get their chance to choose Manitoba's next MLA. Eric Westaver, CBC News, The Pas.
Riley back in now, and it was such a hot weekend that I actually had a little personal fan outside for a little bit and saw many other people at the outdoor event I was at.
It's a good idea, especially on those days when the humidity can really get to you. I'm looking at things actually staying on the cooler side. So if you're a windows open sleeper like I am, you're going to like the next couple of nights at least here. Let's have a look at satellite and radar. That's because of this cold front that's come through. It's kicked up some showers and some isolated thunderstorms pretty broadly across the southern Manitoba throughout the afternoon hours, even into parts of eastern Saskatchewan today, tapping into some of that moisture. Fairly isolated, localized is the way I'll put it in nature, as in not raining everywhere. Not everywhere saw some of those isolated thunderstorms, but where they did happen, you did get into some downpours, particularly into northwestern Ontario. In behind that, we do have a clearing trend, but also a shift in winds. They have been quite strong today, and we'll see that shift in wind to more of a north to northwesterly flow as we get into the day on Tuesday, and that could impact air quality not just in northern Manitoba, but in parts of the south as well. So I'll talk about that in just a moment. Mainly sunny skies to start tomorrow, maybe a bit of extra cloud cover into the eastern parts of the province, into northwestern Ontario, but we'll call it a mix of sun and clouds as we get through the morning tomorrow. Maybe a few spotty showers, particularly into northern parts of the province where we could see a few isolated thunderstorms once again through the afternoon hours. And then things staying pretty generally unsettled, a mix of sun and clouds, but a persistent chance of some scattered showers or some isolated thunder showers as we get through the next couple of days as well. So I was talking about that shift in wind to more of a north to northwesterly flow. And what that will do is pick up some of the smoke from the wildfires burning in northern parts of our province and northern parts of Saskatchewan, actually start to pull it a little bit further south. Nothing close to the surface like we saw last Friday, but there is the potential of seeing some of this a little higher up in the atmosphere when you're looking at some of these greeny blue colors on the map as we get through the day on Tuesday. So this would not be surface smoke, but something more like that milky or that more pale colored sky as we get through the day tomorrow. That's just some of the particulate matter from that smoke being picked up into the upper levels of the atmosphere. So could be a bit hazy in the south, but really it's northern Manitoba where we'll see more of that air quality fluctuating as we get through the day on Tuesday. And then we get another shift on Wednesday of our winds. And that should help to ease air quality pretty broadly across at least the eastern side of the province. So temperatures through the day tomorrow looking at 23s, 24s in the southwestern corner of the province, a mix of sun and clouds. The potential of seeing some of those isolated showers into the Parkland, the northern Interlake through the afternoon. 21 to 23 through much of the south, 22 in Thompson tomorrow afternoon. Brittany, again, these temperatures are actually a few degrees below seasonal, but there is a warm up coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
After a 16-year wait, Spain's soccer fans celebrate a World Cup win. We take you to the party next.
All right, before we get to your 7-day forecast, let's have a look at your dog walking forecast. And a bit of a special one tonight because it's a birthday, or a belated birthday. Olive turning 9 last week. Thank you, Kelsey, for sending this picture in, and happy belated birthday. Loving the sunshine as well, apparently, so I hope the temperatures weren't too hot on the weekend. Tomorrow, a lot more comfortable for a dog walk, 23 into the afternoon for Winnipeg. Could still be a bit breezy with that northeasterly wind as we get through the day tomorrow, but then we'll crank up the heat and humidity as we get through the back half of the week, even into Wednesday and Thursday, 28s and 29s as we get through the day. There is a risk of some showers or some thunderstorms as we get through the day on Friday, and things right now I'm calling it sticky. Once again through Saturday, Sunday, and temperatures hovering around the 30-degree mark through the weekend. Well, it was a magical and very hot moment for the many fans watching the 2026 World Cup. Spain scoring the eventual game winner against Argentina in the second half of extra time at the World Cup final in New Jersey.
Here in Winnipeg, fans gathered to watch the game, and their reaction is tonight's Daily Lift.
I feel sensational. I'm so proud of being Spaniard. I'm from Madrid, Spain, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to all the people that came up here like them, and they cheer for Spain. They cheer for Spain. They learn our chants, and they cheer for us.
I love it. Fans gathered at True North Square Sunday. It's been 16 years since Spain last won the World Cup back in 2010. Now, as the tournament came to a close, soccer fans reflected on how the event brought Canada together, saying it was special for the country to be one of the hosts.
In a time where we're so divided, I think it's important to have something that kind of unifies us, especially as a country.
I think it's pretty special, and it's brought more Canadians to look more into soccer, since it's not one of the biggest sports here.
The party rolled into Sunday night, but fans won't have to wait long to see their national teams compete for the chance to be best in the world. The Women's World Cup will be held next summer in Brazil.
Those are some very happy fans.
No kidding.
We managed to catch the last part of the game, and there were some very sad Argentina fans.
There were. Yeah.
But their friends were very happy that we're cheering for Spain. So
absolutely.
And next year, it's the ladies' turn.
Yep. You win some and you lose some.
You win some, you lose some. Win some, lose some when it comes to weather as well. Stay cool out there. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
See ya.